Hi, I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about parenting, good communication, how to build strong family bonds, child development, and education, all through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we're talking about controlling child behavior. So in this video, we're going to talk about the concept of controlling, who really has control, what we need to understand about that, and then ways that you can go about improving childhood behavior for your child. So let's talk about the concept of controlling. When you are controlling something, that suggests that you actually have the power to make the change within that other object or within that other person. When it comes to behavior, you don't actually have the power to make the change within the behavior of your child. Your child has to choose to change their own behavior. They have to have the change of heart and the change of behavior. Okay, let me share some of my background with you. I am the mother of 4. I've raised them. They're all grown. I'm now a grandmother of 3.5, 3.5. We're almost to 4. I also was a therapeutic treatment care parent for troubled children. So for many years, troubled youth came to my home and I helped them. There was neurodiversities, there was trauma and abuse and all kinds of things in their background. And I had to help them prepare to move on with their life, to either step down a level in care or move out of my home into independent living. And I did that for a number of years. And if there's something that I realized during that process of raising all of my children and other people's children and trying to help them, was I could set up an environment that could inspire a person to have a change of heart and a change of behavior, but I couldn't control their behavior or change their behavior for them. So it's really important that we understand they actually always have the choice. They get to pick how they want to behave and not behave. But we have the responsibility of doing the teaching and laying the foundation work and being there to consistently give them feedback so that they can make better choices. This consistent feedback that will teach ultimately self-government, if we do our jobs right, will include positive consequences, negative consequences, conversations, and skill development. So let's talk about how we set up the environment where a person can choose to control their own behaviors, because that is what self-government is all about. If you have subscribed to this channel before, then you've probably heard me share the definition of self-government more times than I can count. But just in a nutshell, it means that a person takes the ownership and responsibility for their own behaviors, for their own thought processes, and they choose how they want to interact with other people and how they want to solve their problems all on their own. And you teach them the skills for how to do that type of self-evaluation so that it's done in a very healthy and productive way. Now, when I teach about self-government, I can't leave the conversation without discussing some vital skills. If you want to help your child choose to have control over their behaviors, then what you need to do is first establish a baseline. The baseline skills are 4 basic skills. They are following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately. 99% of all behavioral problems can be solved by learning those 4 skill sets. Now, there are many videos on this channel that discuss those skill sets in a variety of different depth, but of course they are a key piece to the Teaching Self-Government program. The books, resources, trainings, and courses all are going to teach things about those skills of self-government. And everyone needs them, not just the children, but parents need them as well. We don't just stop there though. When it comes to skills, we also discuss with our children how we are going to help remind them to do that self-correction. We have to have a method where we maintain our role, maintain their role, but then also help them engage in that self-correction. Now, of course, we have to make sure that they understand that they get to choose, but that we are in charge of the structure and we're all beholden to that structure, which means that if they earned a negative consequence, we're going to need to tell them about that negative consequence. If they need to practice a skill the right way, we're going to help them engage in that type of role play practice. So teaching your children exactly how you will correct them so that they can predict what will happen if they make a bad choice is going to be liberating for them and even empowering for them to choose to make those choices for themselves. Now, I know some people have some very difficult children that they're dealing with, and I've been there with you. I've done treatment care, foster care, took in some of the most difficult children that my state had. And they were able to learn the skills and principles of self-government, and they were able to succeed in my home, which is why people started asking me to teach and why the BBC made other movies and things of my family. You may need a little bit more help than what this video has to offer. So how about you try my next video, which is all about child behavior management. Click on the link to that video next.